What do men want? What do men like in a woman, and what can separate you from other women in a man's mind? What men want? I'm going to go over a lot of different things men want, but I'm going to do it one video at a time, okay? So I'm going to break it down. The first thing I'm going to talk about is what men want. It's something that's very important to men. But before I start, listen, my book is almost done. And if you want to be on the list of people who get exclusive early access to that, as well as a 10% coupon on any services or coaching they receive from my website, just click the link below and enter your phone number. I promise I will not spam you, and I will only bother you when there's something valuable to share, like my book's finally available, I'm going live for free exclusively to this list, and or there's a coaching sale on my website. And every once in a while, I may drop some words of wisdom or advice tidbits with no strings attached at all. Again, I would never spam you, and it will always be me texting you and not some automated sales crap. So if you're interested in my book, exclusive sales and discounts on coaching, or the occasional words of wisdom, again, with no strings attached at all, click the link below and enter your phone number. Now into this topic. Because men often feel like it's them against the world. They go to battle with the world every day, and when they come home, they want to come home to an ally. The funny thing about how men are adopted into this society is that we're normally adopted by the end result of our work, the accomplishment, right? We're not introduced to faith or belief or this idea of potential as much as we encounter doubt. So one thing that men want from women is men want women to believe in them, right? If a man can find a woman who believes in him, it makes all the difference. She can separate herself from other women by just believing in him at his core, right? Not for what she can earn or what she can get from him, what she can benefit from, how she can come up from what he's doing, but to truly just believe in the value he has as a human being beyond what he accomplishes, but also in his ability to accomplish great things. I'll tell you why. The way men motivate themselves in this world is generally through comparison and also through the opinions or perceived opinions of others. I'll give you an example. Me personally, I was always motivated by when people said I couldn't do something, when people doubted me, right? When people tried to get me to doubt myself, when they pointed out my inadequacies, when they said, you can't do that because of this, or if I can't do that, you can't do this. Oftentimes, men create an imaginary enemy to conquer in their minds to stay motivated, right? That's why we hear so much about haters. So many people are motivated by the imaginary hater, even if they don't have haters, because that's what gets them out of bed, proving people wrong, proving the masses or their social circle or their families or the teachers who didn't believe in them and gave them F's in school, proving those people wrong, even if there's no real beef, no real war, no real doubt being thrown at them or thrust upon them. They have to use some of that energy for motivation to keep them moving forward, right? There is always an imaginary war in a man's mind, him versus the world. And sometimes when you get with a woman who doesn't make obvious her faith in you to accomplish things, she can inadvertently add herself to that enemy's list, right? To the list of people who doubt him, to the list of people who don't expect or expect less, right? To the list of people who see inadequacy in him. For instance, men don't always cheat because they're whores. Sometimes men cheat with a woman who believes in them. Sometimes men cheat with women who give them a sense of validation and respect and reverence. Just like women need attention, they want to feel desired. Men want to feel respected, right? Mentally, physically, spiritually, financially, whatever. So while women a lot of times would like attention for whatever reason they want, men are seeking that reverence and that respect. So that's one of those more complicated reasons that some men cheat on their women, right? Every woman's not providing a man what he needs in that way. And it's a really big need that people have. You have to choose a side in this war, whether or not it's imagined or perceived or real. Some of us have really been told we would never be anything. Some of us have really been told we're a waste of space, a waste of air. Some of us have really been told what we can't do all of our lives. So when we get to a place to where we're ready to conquer things, where we're ready to do things, and we choose a woman, we need her as ferociously intentioned on making sure we accomplish our goals and believing that we can in the first place as we are. Otherwise, she just becomes another voice that is telling us what we can't do. And that's how women start to get into a place with the man where he stops hearing her voice and she starts to get treated like an enemy. When a man is choosing a woman as a life partner, as a serious potential wife, he's choosing a woman who sees the same ability and the same competence and the same warrior spirit in him that he sees when he looks in the mirror. People often ask me why I chose my wife, how did I meet my wife, why I chose her, why she was special, blah, 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 right? And I've said this over and over again. I chose my wife because when I talked to her and when I was around her, it became very apparent to me that she saw in me the same gifts and the same abilities and the same competence and the same wisdom and the same spiritual weight that I saw in myself. She believed in me. That made me want to prove her right for her faith in me. A lot of women don't understand how valuable it is and how important it is to make a display of your faith in a man, to make obvious your belief in him. Whether it's real or perceived, the war in a man's mind is always against them and they and whomever else might be haters. They're all just motivating factors, right? They are the invisible enemy. This is how guys attack ambition a lot of times. The healthier way to attack ambition is obviously you versus you yesterday, but that's not how most of us come to ambition. Most of us feel doubt, feel animosity, feel hatred, feel resentment from others, and we use that to beat them to success. It's not the most positive way to attack things, but as we get older and as we grow, we ultimately learn that it's always just been us versus us. But until that point, until that place, the biggest thing that we're looking for in a woman that we're going to take serious, if we're going to choose a wife or a real girlfriend to love, a person who's going to be our partner for life, she needs to see the value that we see in ourselves and us as well. That's really important. And depending on the priority of the man, that might change. Maybe I need to see that she understands who I am spiritually. Sometimes a woman needs to see who you are intellectually and believe in your intelligence, believe in your wisdom, believe in your competence. Right? If a man's been challenged or always made to feel inadequate or stupid or less than someone else mentally his whole life, he's looking for a woman who believes in his mind, his capacity to think and to grow and to evolve and to learn mentally and intellectually. That's where he's been denied that validation. If he's always been broke and he has big dreams to be successful, he's looking for a woman who believes he can be successful, who's going to put all her faith in making sure that he understands that he has her support and her full faith in his ability to make something out of himself, especially if he came from nothing and he's always been told or always perceived that people thought that he would never amount to anything. The way a woman needs to believe a man depends heavily on his experience and wherever he lacked validation. If a man's always been looked down at as a screw up or as a bad person, he's always been put down for who he is or the things he's done. He needs a woman who believes in his character. He needs a woman who believes in his value as a human being, his goodness, his inner goodness. He's looking for someone who sees goodness in him if he's always been told how shitty he is. To encourage him, to motivate him, to inspire him, to support him, he needs to be validated in his humanity being worthwhile and being worthy of respect. Whatever thing that was denied a man as a child in his mind, perceived or real, needs to be provided in the way of belief and respect and reverence by the woman he chooses seriously. So different men may need different types of faith or women to believe different things about them. Not total belief, not blind faith. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a man's broken inner child needing to fulfill that which was denied him as a youth. If you have faith in a man in the way that he needs you to have faith in him, in the way that heals him from whatever brokenness he's experienced, and we all have some, so this is not an opportunity to talk about broken men this and broken men that. We all have something that we need to get from our partner that would heal us. That's why people need love, because two people fill in each other's blanks. Two people complete each other in certain ways. What men want is a woman who completes them and who validates them in a way that they were not validated as children, who gives them warmth and love and acceptance in a way that they did not receive it as children. Oftentimes, women need the same thing. So anyway, this is part one of what men want, what men need from women, what men are looking for. I'll probably do many of these. If you need coaching, go to girltalkwithguys.com, whether you're dating or in a relationship. If you want to support the channel, you can do so on patreon.com/KevHick. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching. I'll get with y'all later.